Hi everyone, I'm Benedict from Schengen Travels, and today we've got a major update that could completely change your plans if you were hoping to apply for a job-seeking visa in Portugal. If you've been waiting for that email, that appointment, that entry point, you'll want to hear this. Because as of October 23rd, 2025, the Portuguese government has introduced a game-changer in its immigration policy. Let's walk through exactly what's happened, what that means for you, and what you can do right now to not get caught off guard. Here's the big headlines, or what most people prefer to call the key facts. Think of them as the what happened stage. On October 22nd, 2025, the Portuguese official gazette published Law 61/2025, a major amendment to the existing Foreigners Law, Law 23/2007. I will attach a copy of the new law in the description of this video, so do well to check it out yourself. Now, the new law states that from October 23rd, 2025 onwards, all previously scheduled appointments for the traditional job seeker visa are automatically canceled. In other words, if you had booked it, it's been wiped out under the old regime. The old job seeker visa route is abolished. In its place, a new highly skilled work-seeking visa is proposed, but applications cannot yet be submitted because the implementing regulations are not issued yet. Also, the Manifestation of Interest, in Portuguese, Manifestação de Interesse, regularization route is being discontinued by December 31st, 2025. So if you were relying on that open door pathway, it's being shut off. Now let's look at why this new rule matters. In fact, this is not just a bureaucratic tweak. It has real implications for thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of people. So, this is how it will affect you. 1. If you plan to enter Portugal under the old job seeker visa, now that route is gone. That means uncertainty. You don't know when or under what conditions the new highly skilled route will open. If the sectors you were targeting are not classed as highly skilled, sorry for you, my brother. You may now lose eligibility under the new rule. The government is shifting its labor migration strategy away from lower-skilled job seekers. 2. The Manifestation of Interest route, which many non-EU nationals used as a kind of backdoor regularization, working plus Social Security contributions residence permit, ends December 31st, 2025. If you were in process, you must act fast now or cancel it. 3. For companies and sectors that have relied on foreign labor, tourism, construction, hospitality, this means labor shortage risks and greater competition for the remaining visa categories. Having said that, let me explain what exactly is being replaced so you get the gist well. I mean, the old versus new law. Let's compare side by side so you can clearly see the shift. The old job seeker visa, before October 2025, allowed a foreign national with sufficient funds, for example, around €2,460 for the duration, to enter Portugal and search for employment. Valid up to 120 days, renewable for another 60 days. Had Schengen mobility. It means entering Portugal often meant being able to travel in the Schengen area, depending on entry visa. Lower bar in terms of skill level requirement. Many non-highly qualified workers used it. Here's the new rule regarding the highly skilled work-seeking visa from the new Law 61/2025. Eligibility restricted to those with specialized technical competencies. We'll still get the full context later. Valid for 120 days, same as before. But if you fail to secure employment within that 120-day window, you must leave Portugal and you must wait 1 full year before reapplying under that route. This visa will apply only to Portuguese territory. What I mean here is that the new rule does not grant automatic Schengen-wide travel rights, like the old one. The actual criteria still need to be published by a joint ministerial order, foreign affairs, immigration, labor, education. So there's a regulatory gap. The previous route's flexibility, enter, roam, search, is gone. This is much tighter and restrictive. To be frank with you, friend, this transition means you're in limbo if you were counting on the old route. Now that you have gotten the full picture of the mess you are in right now if you still depend on old route for moving to Portugal, I will tell you for free that the timing of this new rule is messy. Why the timing is messy is because of the regulatory gap and uncertainty. In fact, the biggest challenge now is that the regulations aren't even ready yet. Although the rule is in force, published October 22nd, effective October 23rd. The ministry has confirmed that no applications for the new visa scheme will be accepted until the detailed regulations are issued. So thousands of applicants who had booked under the old regime now face waiting, with no date for when the new route will open. You get the gist now? For companies and workers, this means planning becomes hard. For people asking these questions, can I go now? Which visa do I apply for? When will the process open? Well, for now, odalo for you, my friend. For sectors relying on migrant labor, there may be a gap where hiring foreign workers becomes more difficult or slower, giving rise to possible labor shortages or increased cost/time for recruitment. In short, when policy changes faster than the implementing rules, you get a limbo phase that creates risk for individuals and employers alike. If you're watching this because you were hoping to go to Portugal for work, search for work, or use one of the migration pathways, here are what you should do. Check your timing. If you had booked an appointment for the old job seeker visa after October 23rd, 2025, it's been canceled. You need to revisit your plans. Assess your skill level. Do you fall into the highly skilled category? Do you have specialized technical competencies? If you're applying in tourism, hospitality, general construction, that is, not high-end technical, you may no longer qualify. Monitor regulation publication. You'll need to wait for the ministerial order/regulation that defines the new visa details. What professions count, what documentation is required, how mobility is defined. Only then can you apply. Avoid assumptions. You cannot rely on Schengen-wide mobility under this new visa. The law says only Portuguese territory. That matters if your plan was Portugal as a Euro gateway. Plan alternatives or backup routes. If the new highly skilled route is not viable for you, consider other routes. For instance, a contract with Portuguese employer plus work visa, remote worker visa, investment or residence by income, family reunification routes, but all of these are themselves tightening. Please, act now if you're in a pending pathway, especially for the manifestation of interest route. If you were counting on it, note the deadline December 31st, 2025 for pending cases. Miss it and you lose the option. For employers in Portugal, particularly in tourism, hospitality, construction, agriculture, this policy shift raises red flags. The flow of foreign workers, especially lower skilled or non-highly qualified, is going to be much more constrained. Recruiting abroad for searching for any job is no longer easy. If you rely on foreign job seekers coming in, you'll need to adjust. Either raise the qualification bar, restructure roles to be higher skilled, or consider other staffing models, local labor, automation, training. Administrative and regulatory uncertainty is higher. Until the rules are issued, you're in a waiting game. Potential risk of labor shortage or wage pressure. If supply of migrant workers drops, wages may go up, hiring delays may increase. If you're sponsoring a foreign worker, you must ensure the worker meets the new criteria, that you're ready for stricter documentation, and that you don't rely on old pathways which may no longer exist. You may be asking, why is Portugal doing this? What is their context and motives in this new rules? Well, it's important to understand why Portugal is making this shift. It's not random. So, here are the key reasons. The Portuguese government says previous migration rules led to very large backlogs, hundreds of thousands of pending cases. A shift in strategy, moving from open door for many job seekers to attracting global talent/high-skilled professionals. Pressure to manage integration, housing, public services, labor market balance. For migration policy, Portugal is aligning more with a skills-based migration model seen in other countries. Incoming migration is less about filling any job and more about filling specific competencies. So if your plan was to use a job search visa as a stepping stone, that model is no longer the direction Portugal is pursuing. Here's what I recommend you do immediately if you are engaged or thinking of engaging in this pathway. 1. Don't panic, but don't delay. Start reviewing your eligibility under the new landscape. 2. Make a list of your qualifications, skills, job offers, if any, and check, are they highly skilled/specialized technical competencies? If not, you may need Plan B. 3. If you were booked under the old visa route, contact your visa center or your immigration advisor to confirm cancellation and what your options are. 4. Keep tabs on official Portuguese government sources, for instance, Agência para a Integração, Migracos e Asilo, AMA, for when the new regulations will be published. 5. Explore alternative visa or residence options in Portugal. Work contract routes, self-employment, remote worker visas, if available, investment routes, income-based, D7 routes. 6. If you are already in Portugal under the old regime or have a pending process, get professional legal/immigration advice. Some cases may need conversion, others may be at risk of expiry. 7. Stay alert for changes. This is a live regulatory environment. Things may shift. Past information might now be outdated. You'll want sources updated to 2025. In short, adapt your strategy to the new realities. Don't assume the old route will magically continue. To wrap this up, for many job seekers, the dream of using the old job search visa to enter Portugal, roam the Schengen area, find work, stay long-term, that route is now closed. The new path is narrower, more demanding, more technical, and not yet operational. That means there is both a danger and an opportunity. If you're not prepared, or you were relying on the old path, you could find yourself stuck in limbo, waiting, uncertain, possibly losing time or money. But if you do qualify under the new highly skilled approach, you'll be in a smaller, more strategic pool, potentially with less competition and higher value roles. So the question is, are you willing and able to meet the new bar? Or do you need to recalibrate your plan? For those of you watching this channel because you're exploring working, migrating, or moving to Europe via Portugal, this is your moment to pause, review, adjust. Don't proceed as if nothing has changed, because a lot has. I'll be monitoring when the regulations are published, and we'll put out a follow-up video with how to qualify for the new Portugal highly skilled work-seeking visa, step by step, once details are live. If you found this video helpful, please hit like, subscribe, and share with your friends trying to move to Portugal.